Okay, Fred, I'm sure everybody's on pins and needles to know what the newest D-Lab basic training is. But first, of course, we always got to deal with Fink, and it appears as though he's gotten into my fridge and he's into my cheese. Not cool, dude. It's my cheese. It's pretty good, too. All right, let's get to the good stuff. Today, we have a 1955 Fender Pro 5E5 chassis amplifier. The fault? Excessive noise, and the output tubes are running hot. So we're going to consider three things, maybe four. First, is it a bad connection? Maybe grounds? Is it a power supply issue? Is it defective tubes? Or possibly, is it because I'm wearing a red shirt? And we know what happens to guys that wear red shirts on certain space shows. So first, let's perform a visual inspection and see if we can locate anything that looks odd, and then after that, we'll go ahead and install the tubes and power up the amp, if we're that lucky. Alright, step one for any amplifier repair is you want to do a very close, well-lit visual inspection. This will save you a lot of time because the fault may jump right out at you. So we're going to be using my Luxo magnifying glass lamp, and what I'm doing is I'm looking in at the pins of these tube sockets. Now this thing was built in 1955, so I would expect to see some wear and tear, but what I'm seeing is a lot of corrosion in these pins of all of the 8-pin sockets. And the contacts are spread out, so that's more than likely the cause of some of the noise and definitely the red plating for the output tubes. Now if I take a look at the preamp tubes, these sockets all look almost white, almost like there's a corroded powder on the pins, which of course would not make good connection to your nice signal quality pins on your preamp tubes. So they are also a problem. Let me give you guys a close-up inspection using my Dino-Lite. Alright, let's compare the tube diameters of the JJ versus an old stock RCA. So the JJ6L6 is on the left. We'll start by measuring its pin. I see around 88 thousandths. The RCA looks to be about 91 thousandths. So it is evident that the JJ is undersized. This could cause problems with proper tube socket mating, which could give you the red plating conditions. The tube retainers sometimes will mask this issue. Let me show you. So here's how your tube retainers can actually mask the fact that the tube pins are not mating firmly. You take the tube, you push it in, you're meeting resistance because you're feeling these alligator jaws. You pop in the tube, you say, yep, that's secure, but is it really secure? Now if I were to push down on our little clamps and pull the tube out, you'll see the JJ falls in that socket. You should be meeting resistance when you initially install the tube. This is telling you that these pins are flared out and they're not making good connection. And of course the corrosion from being in use since 1955 doesn't help. So here is that old RCA tube. Let's try the same thing. I'm going to push down on the clamps. We'll drop in the tube. And you can see it meets resistance after it enters about 1/4 of an inch. And that one is much firmer. So the undersized pins of the JJ do contribute to improper mating of these old tube sockets. Alright, so you can see by the condition of those tube sockets that we have failed the visual inspection. So before I can go any further, I have to replace all of the tube sockets on this amplifier. The little 9-pinners aren't too hard to find, but these surface mount 8-pin octals that Fender had back in the day, they're a real booger to find. But luckily, I have a set. So in conclusion, the amplifier failed the visual inspection due to the condition of those old, worn-out tube sockets. After all, they're over 60 years old. What would you expect? And it had nothing to do with my red shirt. I was shocked. So if you're working on one of these vintage amps and you inspect the tube sockets and they look like this, don't try to clean them. Don't try to reform those contacts. Replace those sockets. So here at D-Lab, when I'm working on these vintage amps, my go-to tubes are the Tung-sols. These are the reissue tubes from Russia. They make the Mullard series. They're a little bit more expensive than these JJs, but the tube pin diameter is correct, and I never have issues with those. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Fred and Fink's Basic Training at D-Lab Electronics. There's more to come.